is in.
Hello everybody, my name is Healthy Williams, or you can call me Pa, and today I am going to be explaining a full guide of a full guide on the entirety of quests in Skylanders. I'll be explaining the 5 common quests, all 3 of the elemental quests for all 8 elements, and finally the personal quests for each Skylander in the game. So first, I think we'll get started with the Battle Champ quest, which is win 10 PvP matches. I'll be explaining the quickest way I know how to get to it, so give me a second. Alright, so inside player versus player battle mode, which is in Skylanders Giants, I usually like to go to Lockdown Islands. And of course, you need 2 Skylanders and 2 controllers. So Tarafa's going to demonstrate how I do it quickly. Alright, as soon as the match begins, make sure you press the skip button. So first you want to select ring out, and of course go to here. So use this bounce pad. And each one of those victories counts as 1 win. So you need to do that for 10 times for each Skylander. Anyway, on to the next quest. Okay, so starting with the next quest, I'm going to be discussing 2 in 1, which is Monster Master, which is defeat 1,000 enemies, and Heroic Challenger, which is complete any heroic challenge level without taking any damage. Honestly, I'm going to recommend Choppy Chop Down because that's the easiest. Now, there is an even easier heroic challenge if you have a certain character figure. Ah, darn, took damage. But, yeah, this is a good place for, like, Monster Masher. Just to kill 100 enemies if you haven't already. You know, maybe I should have gone with Sprocket, but oh well. But you know, it's a good way to like kill a bunch of enemies and gain a lot of experience. I mean, no matter what you do, these enemies are going to be easy. Throw that. I mean, eventually, if you do have like a bunch of heroic challenges, you will get to it. Get it? I'm just showing off that 100 chompies that are in here. They can kill. Alright, now if I didn't get hit, I would actually get the Heroic Challenger quest done. Alright, but I will demonstrate, now if you have a Series 2 Wrecking Ball, this challenge does not have any enemies inside of it, so it's a guaranteed, winner if you can do it. But, you get whatever heroic challenge you see with the key, that means you can get it in game. So I think eventually you'll get it. Anyway, on to the next. Alright, so the next quest that I will explain is the Chow Hound, which is eat 50 pieces of food, and Arena Artist, which is complete any arena without taking any damage. So you can do like any arena that you want, and the higher you do it, the more score you get. I might as well demonstrate. Those enemies shouldn't be doing that. Alright, need time to build the turret. Yeah, these stages are also easy to do. You get coins for it. Alright, stage 2. Now every round you clear, there's usually about 3 rounds, you get some food, which will help you with Chow Hound. Alright, build some turrets like I usually do. Oh, I might get hit. Okay, yeah, I got rid of the archer. I was a bit worried there for a second. You know, might as well be a tank. I do believe you do get food from, like, random enemy drops in case you kill them. So, like, maybe save Chow Hound for, like, if you're, like, almost there and you got all the other quests done. Okay, get rid of that enemy. Might as well shoot this enemy to death. Time to be the tank. Alright, that should be good. Looks like we still got some enemies. I think that's it. Alright, didn't take any damage. So I think so I will be discussing each of the elemental quests right now, so give me 1 second. And that is it for all the common quests that you can do. Alright, so I'm going to be going in elemental source order. So first up is air. So our first one is from above, defeat 25 enemies while falling. I usually like to come towards Rumbletown. Alright, lead these chompies here. Make sure they get stuck, or if you can break out of here. That way you can come up to this ledge, lead them a little bit back over here, and, you know, you kill some of them, so. So do this over and over till you get 25 of them. Anyway, on to the next. Alright, so the next air elemental quest is collect 50 gold in midair. So you want to come to Chaos's castle. Shoot. Because there's the bounce pads. So some characters like Lightning Rod don't really have a flying move, and I guess this also counts for Swarm probably as well. This place does help out with that. So I recommend doing this as many times as you need to till the quest is over. Alright, on to the next. Alright, our final air quest is the Elementalist, which is cause 7,500 points of bonus damage. That basically means you need to get the same attack. Okay, you need to get Lightning Rod in an air elemental zone. So that, see that air point system? that guarantees that lightning rod does a bit more damage. Now, I do recommend the wizard hat and playing on nightmare mode so you can maximize the point total. Alright, on to the next. Alright, so our next element is water. So our first water quest is to extinguish or defeat an evil fire minion. This is pretty easy. If you want to get here, just go to the Oracle level. Go through the... Pick any trial from the beginning. And after the trial after that, make sure you pick the giant fish in a small pond. Not the small fish in a big pond or something. Anyway, these eruptors aren't really that bad. You just need to beat one of them in order for it to register. Gonna see if I can take out the other one right now. And I did it. Anyway, on to the next. Anyway, our next water quest is the Waterfall quest, which is knock 25 enemies out the edge of the world. So, if I'm right, you can actually trick Chompies into actually doing that. And I think this may count. Alright, let me try this. Ouch. Now, if it doesn't work, I think I know another spot. I'll be right back. Now, I believe this level in Troll Home Security Castle can be used to knock enemies off the edge of the world as well. Though Slam is super strong, so... Hold on. Okay, I'm not really knocking anyone's off, but, you know, you do get the picture that this one spot does help. You know, maybe don't do it with a fully powerful character. Anyway, on to the next. Alright, so the final water quest is the Water Elementalist quest. I like to go to Chapter 16, bring order to chaos. What you want to do is, you want the wizard hat and turning it to nightmare mode. And make sure you use your strongest attacks. That way you guarantee that you're maximizing your runs. It will take you a few tries to get it, but, you know. Eventually you'll get it. Oh, that was lucky. Alright, so just do that over and over till you eventually get it. Okay, on to the next element. Okay, Earth is our next element. So, we got Wrecker, destroy 20 brick walls. You know, I usually like to come to here to Junkyard Isles. Now you got these big walls, and you got these smaller walls, which kind of count towards your back off. Which do count. So I think I destroyed 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is 5. Ah, I forgot the buttons. Alright, swim up here. Toss out the last second. Punch these guys out of my way. Yeah, I think you'll get this in about 3 tries. you know, an easy quest. Anyway, on to the next. Alright, our next Earth quest is the Stonesmith, which is defeat 25 enemies with a push block. First off, you want to come to Realm Town, get to this point of the level, push that block down. Then you want to push these blocks over. Okay, do not kill any chompies up here, because you want to lead all of them right here. Anyway, scrunch yourself up as much as you can, and eventually you should get it. So just do that over and over till you eventually get it. Okay, on to the next quest. Okay, our final Earth quest is the Elementalist, which is, you know, for Earth. So, like I said, Wizard Hat, Nightmare Mode. There's not really a whole lot of good Earth spots. At least not ones on top of my head. I recommend this stage and another if you have the bonus, if you have like another figure. You can also try like the second level of the game as well. And I think this will continue on. Like you can grab that bomb and then throw it at the cannon and it's still Earth. In case you want to maximize it. Hold on. I think I remember a spot over here. Let's see, is it Earth theme? It's not this room. I believe it's this room in here. Okay, yeah. This room's also good for like raising your Earth points. Anyway, on to the stage that I was talking about. Okay, so I think Pirate Seas might be a better way to get, you know, your Earth elemental power up. Because, you know, if you get in here, it turns into an Earth zone. You know, some of these enemies, you may have to lead some of these enemies to you. Oh, be careful of him. Yeah, because these enemies are a lot more of a struggle to take down. I know I'm one-shotting, but trust me, I wouldn't be. Oh, dodge. And, you know, you got your choppy spawner right here in case you don't want to do the card game. Anyway, I recommend Pirate Seas if you have it for doing the Earth thing. On to the next element. Alright, now we begin the life quests. So there's this one, Melon Maestro, hit targets 200 times while in the turret challenge. Now if you want, you can do not Auto Driver Adventure, Secret of All Secrets, or you can do this level. Or the Air Pirate mission. So just hit whatever comes your way with these watermelons. Anyway, that's good. Anyway, the other life mission is fully stocked. Defeat 250 enemies while at full health. I recommend talking to Kelly and then just do chompy chop down until you get it. On to next. Okay, so the next life quest is Elementalist for life. I recommend going to the Oracle. it's the first door. You want to go to the right of the first door. And just go to town. Again, nightmare mode, wizard hat. Can't recommend that enough. This way these chompy tanks will, or these chompy bots. Sorry, they'll have more health. Alright, that takes care of that. Now on to the next element. Alright, our next element is tech. So I'll be talking about Magic Isn't Might and Cracker. So you have to defeat 50 elemental mages for Magic Isn't Might, and for Cracker you gotta basically get some keys. So I'll be explaining everything you can do, all the things you can get in Rebel Town, and a quicker way to do it later. So I'll begin. Okay, so key number 1 is right here. And this key is used to unlock this thing right here. And remember, you got to use the key to unlock it. Anyway, your first mage is right here. Kill him for the Magic Isn't Might. Okay, so inside this little house is our next mage and key. So defeat this mage. And pick up this key right here. We'll use this later. And we walk outside. And then our third key and mage will be on a ledge. Knock him out. And then use these keys on this door right here. On to the next. Now our fourth mage is right here. Smack him. Okay, so once you get the key up on that ledge right there, do not use it on this door. Instead, go inside this house. And then use it on this door. This is the soul gem where you get hot dogs. This is where you get hot dog soul gem. Yeah, flood my words. So that's lock number 4. And this is the final lock that I know of, so it would take you about 5 tries to eventually get to 25. Alright, so during this arena battle, there's going to be another mage, so I believe this is number 5. And I'm going to keep playing so I can show off what you have to do next. Ouch. So as soon as Brock comes down, you want to hit him a little bit. And this will spawn more mages. So that's number 6. This is number 7. If you kill him properly. I don't know if falling counts. This should be number 8. Then more mages will spawn in. This will be number 9. Number 10. Number 11. And finally number 12. So in total you would have to do this mission so you have to do this level about 5 times for the locks and the mages, but I know another solution. Okay, so this is a heroic challenge called Zombie Dance Party. It can be unlocked by a series 2 or 3 Cinder. So I believe in this mission there are about 6 undead drow that you need to destroy in order to get the zombies' heads. But we're just going after the drow, or sorry, Drog. That should be number 6. Or sorry, not number 6, number 2. Man, these things are ugly. Okay. push these blocks in. I believe number 3 is right up top of there. See if I remember. Oh wait, no. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4, we have to backtrack a little bit. We have to go through this bed of spikes. Riveting. Take some damage. Alright, that's number 4. Got one on accident. Alright, and I believe this is number 5. I'll take the health. And our final one is right... I'm an idiot. There was a teleporter up there. Should be right here. So I believe since there's 6, it shouldn't take you that long. Anyway, on to the next one, which is for the keys. Okay, so for this heroic challenge, you need Thump back in order to unlock it. But there are 3 guaranteed keys here. So it should take you about 9 tries in each heroic challenge in order to get what you need. So first lock is over here. I believe the next lock is ouch. Next lock is about right here as well. And I believe the final lock is about right here. So that's 3 locks. So you need to do this about 9 times. Same with the wizards. Anyway, on to the next quest. Alright, so our last tech quest is the Elementalist for tech. So I like to come here. Alright, you want to make sure you get your most powerful attack ready. Whoa, gotta be careful with him. Again, I recommend the Wizard Hat and Nightmare Mode, so some enemies will become beefier. Oh. Oh. I mean, you'll get it eventually. Anyway, on to the next element. Alright, our next set of elemental quests is Undead. Now, bossed around, buy a thread, and the Elementalist Undead quests can be all done in Auto Gyro Adventure. It may take you a couple tries because boss around means that you gotta be beaten by a boss 3 times. Now, by a thread, you must defeat an evil undead Skylander. There's only one in the game, so there's that. First, you got these Trog Pinchers. But your main source of elemental damage will be from here. Okay, but luckily these guys share one brain cell. Maybe I'll just get right up next to them. Uh-oh. Alright, so you do need to defeat one of these guys in order to get the hang by the thread quest done. Alright, now for the other quest, which is bossed around. Just die. You have to die to any boss in the game. So, this is like the closest boss you can possibly get to, so there's that. So that completes Elementalist, Hang by a Thread, and Boss Around. You do need to do Boss Around 3 times in order for it to activate. And yeah, that's it. Pretty easy. Alright, fire quests are next, and we're going to do Bombardier, which is defeat 30 enemies with a bomb. Ooh, gassy. Anyway, take this bomb. I think there's like a bit of momentum to the bomb, so... You know, just try doing your best not to kill everything in sight. I know the struggles of just being too powerful. Okay, this one's going to be a bit more tighter, especially Niner's not really that fast. 2, 1. Missed one. And then your final 2 enemies are going to be up here. So I think you'll get this in like a couple tries. Not really that difficult or long of a task. Alright, on to the next quest. Alright, our next fire quest is Steamer, defeat an evil water minion. So let's begin. Remember, if you're is the Oracle level, so do any of the first missions, but make sure you go through the giant fish in the small pond so you eventually get here. Unless you want to get the Gill Grunt one in Trollhole Security Castle. Honestly, I find the Zaps easier than the Eruptors. Just because they don't have like a lot of health. Alright, now on to the next one. Now our last fire mission is Elementalist for fire. I recommend coming to Molken Mountain. Because the first area that is guaranteed will be fire. And forthwith. Alright, might as well show off the maximum enemies. Again, I recommend the Wizard Hat and Nightmare difficulty, so all these enemies are super buff. Another great way to raise your elemental power would be to do heroic challenges, or having the same number of elements. So if I had like a Niter, Sunburn, Eruptor, and so on, I am guaranteed an elemental boost. Alright, need to be careful. Alright, spins around. Luckily for this Archean Crackler, you can just kill his clones over and over and it still counts. Alright, but let's move on. Alright, continuing on. You can come up here and take care of these enemies as well. still more. And make sure you attack them with your strongest attack. Anyway, on to the next one. Alright, so the magic quests, one of them is called Warp Whomper. I want to get this one done and out of the way. It is basically you use a teleporter and you have 10 seconds to defeat an enemy. I think you'll just get this on accident or out of habit. But I might as well show off me doing it. Yeah, I know, but I'm at least gonna do the part where I actually do it. Alright, so go inside the teleporter and you have 10 seconds to kill an enemy. There, I did it. Okay, on to the next quest. I said on to the next quest. Alright, our next magic quest is Puzzle Power, which is defeat 25 enemies with light puzzle beams. So I like to come in here and knowledge our adventure. Alright, now what we're going to do is that we're going to bait some of these enemies. First off, instantly attack him so he doesn't do anything stupid. As soon as he charges up, back away slowly, and he dies. Now he's dead. So that's a total of 3 guys right there. That should be 4 and 5. Alright, turn this around. Fly down here. And spin this crystal down here. And then when you come over here, there should be 6, 7, and 8. You want to lead these guys to their doom. And just do that till eventually you get it. Okay, next quest. Oh, and if you want to, you can continue on to the level where there's more of these guys. So it is up to you if you want to. Anyway, next quest. Alright, our final magic quest, and I guess the final elemental quest for every element in the game is this one. Elemental is for magic. I recommend coming in here. Like I said, one final time, magic wizard hat and play on and play on nightmare mode. Alright, so this one's kind of good. First I'm going to unlock the magic gate. So these enemies, I'm sure you know them well. They respawn health. So just don't try killing them too hard, and eventually you should be able to get it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Now I will talk about each Skylanders personal quest now. Alright?
Twists of Fury!
Alright, Whirlwind's personal quest. What does it mean? Create 50 double rainbows. You have this upgrade right here. Launch a cloud, shoot a rainbow at it. Okay, do that 50 more times and then you'll get it. On to the next. For the win! Alright, Warnado's personal quests. You have to catch 100 chompies in your tornadoes. That's Chompy Catcher. Recommend this upgrade right here since you can have 3 chompies at once. To find those chompies, I recommend Chompy Chop Down for that one. Alright, on to next.
Full scream ahead!
Alright, Sonic Boom's personal quests. Oh, sorry, let me just, okay. Sonic Squeak, have your babies defeat 50 enemies. Make sure you have I guess 3 is a crowd, because then you can have 3 at once. For me, I have 4. But I recommend Chompy Chop Down for the easiest way to get it. Next character.
One strike and you're out!
Alright, Lightning Rod's personal quests. Current event, defeat 10 enemies with 1 Grand Lightning Strike. So it's your secondary attack move. But you need to do it all at once. Like 10 enemies with 1 Grand Lightning Strike. So you may want to group them together. But I recommend, definitely, Chompy Chop Down for that one. Next character.
Bring the sting!
Alright, Swarm's personal quests. Swarm Feelings. Defeat 100 enemies in Swarm form. So you want this upgrade. It's your 3rd attack. And we can walk into the enemies as you will. But again, I recommend Chompy Chop Down for those 100 enemies.
Hawk and door!
Alright, Jetpack's personal quests. Bird Cleaner. Suck up 50 birds in your suction gun. So in other words, it's your secondary attack button. And I like to do Time of the Giants because there are some nests here. Now, be careful not to scare the birds, otherwise you have to wait for them to come back. There's another nest right over here. And I think another bird... Oh, I missed one. But there was a bird right up there, so I don't know how many, but just keep doing this over and over until you get 50. Alright, on to the next group of characters.
Fear the fish!
Alright, Gilgrunt's personal quest is Anchors Away. Defeat 6 enemies with 1 anchor attack. So obviously you want his soul gem, which is the hold down the anchors attack. You want a group of 6 enemies to come together and then just launch it. So obviously Chompy Chop Down, best level in the game by far. Alright, Zap's personal quests. Defeat 50 enemies by electrifying them in sea slime. So you want this upgrade so you can actually do it. It's your secondary attack and then you can just electrocute it. Or just do a wave over it. It works. Anyway, I just recommend Chompy Chop Down.
Race for the mace!
Alright, Whamshell's personal quests. Defeat 6 enemies with 1 Poseidon Strike. So you want this final upgrade right here. It's your 3rd attack button. You get 6 enemies at once, and then just do that. I recommend Chompy Chop Down.
Armed and dangerous!
Alright, Slam Band's personal quests. Trap 100 enemies in your block of ice. So it should be your secondary move. I believe you can do this up to 3 times. And you can charge it. Anyway, I recommend Choppy Chop Down for those 100 enemies.
Hail to the whale!
Alright, Thumbback's personal quest. Defeat 8 enemies with 1 belly flop. I believe it is this move right here. Secondary move. Oh wait, didn't mean to do that. So it can either be the impact or I believe the belly slide, but you have to get 8 at once. I recommend Choppy Chop Down. Definitely.
Stay cool.
Alright, so Chill's personal quest. Defeat 6 is Eyesore. Defeat 6 enemies with 1 narwhal attack. So you need her soul gem, obviously. And I recommend Chompy Chop Down. Alright, on to the next elements.
It's feeding time!
Alright, Terrafin's personal quest is you gotta eat 20 food items while burrowing. So, I guess you can combine this with the Chow Hound one if you haven't done that yet, but you need a soul gem first in order to do it. So, if you're still struggling, you can always go do one of these arena missions with Brock. And every round, you should get some food back. Just make sure you're underground while collecting it, and you should be good.
The beam is supreme!
Okay, Prison Break's personal quest. Defeat 100 enemies with double refractions. So I believe it is this upgrade right here. Or maybe it's your secondary upgrade. I can't really tell. Anyway, make sure you go to, you guessed it, Chompy Chop Down.
Rock and roll!
Okay, so Bash's personal quest. On a roll, defeat 10 enemies with 1 roll attack. So that's your secondary move. Make sure, remember, you gotta do it in 1 roll, not multiple. Make sure you get it in Choppy Chop Down.
Come rain or shine!
Okay, so Dino Ring's personal quest. It is pick up 20 food items with your boomerangs. This is Dino Ring's soul gem. So it allows him to pick up items so you can do food. Now you want to do any one of Brock's arena battles. That way you can actually pick up the food items and then move on. Alright, next.
It's Crush Hour!
Okay, so Crusher's personal quest. Defeat 100 enemies with boulders. That is your 3rd attack button, so the rock slide. So I recommend, you guessed it, Choppy Chop Down.
Blinded by the light.
Alright, Flashwing's personal quest. Defeat 20 enemies with 1 crystal lighthouse. So that is her soul gem, which can be found in the final level of the game. So just press and hold the 3rd attack button just to do this, and then wait for people to spawn in and kill themselves. I recommend Choppy Chop Down.
Silent but deadly.
Alright, Stealth Elf's personal quest is gain 1000 HP while stealthed. So basically, her secondary attack button while you're invisible. If you want, I guess you can like gain. So I guess you eat some food like this as well. Or you can do her soul gem where she basically just gets hit. Then eventually you'll get it, I guess. Alright, next one.
Drop the hammer!
Alright, Stun Smash's personal quests. Defeat 5 enemies with 1 Mega Nut. So, basically this. Luckily you can just push it. If you wanted 5 enemies to kill, that's right, it is Choppy Chop Down.
Fruit punch!
Alright, so camos, personal quests. Eat 10 watermelons. Sometimes when you kill some enemies, you get some food drops. Sometimes they're watermelons. But if you're still struggling, you can always take care of the first couple of enemies. And down here before the third section, there's a guaranteed watermelon right here for you.
Locked and loaded! Ha 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 ha!
Okay, so Zook's personal quest is absorb 100 points of damage with a foliage barrier. You can do multiple of these barriers. I guess either this or the mushroom. I guess if you want, you can like switch passive if you got a series 2. But just let some enemies take some damage. You know, maybe find some Archeans that you can run away from. They'll strike it very quickly. You'll get it.
Be afraid of the dark!
Okay, so Tree Rex, personal quests, and this one's a bit on the tougher side. Defeat 50 enemies by landing on them. Choppies do count. Choppies don't count. Now, I read some things online saying that there might be a bug in the game where Choppies actually do count for some reason. But same with the air quests where you have to fall on them. I have to leave the Choppies over here. But if it doesn't work on your console, I guess I do know 2 other methods. Well, one other method. All right, you want to lead this guy here. Maybe take off his armor. Come on, right here. Lead him towards a cliff. And of course, don't have your bird yet. You know, if you can lead these guys down here, you can eventually get to them. Now on to the method I actually did first time doing Tree Rex. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's my method that I did first try. Now, assuming if you have an undead Skylander, because Cinder came in the starter pack, you can actually come in here. Now, don't kill any enemies in here. Just try to move past them. Now, you don't want to switch to Tree Rex yet because Tree Rex will automatically kill all of these guys. Then once you make it up here, press the pause button. Oh, shoot. Gotta be careful. Put Tree Rex on. Then start landing on top of the... Then start landing on top of these guys. I think eventually you'll get it. Oh, wait. Again, make sure you don't have your little woodpecker pal. Anyway, that was my method that I remember doing. Because I think it still counts. Anyway, on to another method, which is very popular. Okay, so this one, you need Bouncer to unlock this heroic challenge. And the first wave is Chompies. Now remember, I did see some stuff online saying that you can fall on top of these Chompies, and it counts. But you need to get these Drows to stand on the non-bouncy spot. And eventually this counts. And please, if anyone's watching in the comments, leave like a good spot where you know, you can find it. But yeah, I do recommend holding off before getting the Robin, which is a soul gem. His woodpecker pal. Get off. Alright, I think I'm getting him. Alright, they aren't responding. Come on. Anyway, just do this over and over until eventually you get it. On to the next one.
He shoots! He spores!
Okay, so back in chapter 10 again, Shroom's personal quest is eat a watermelon while performing a self slingshot. So just like with Camo, there's this guaranteed watermelon right here. This is a soul gem, so make sure you get it in chapter 1. And that's basically it. On to the next elements.
No, Cory!
Okay, so Trigger Happy's personal quest is save up 50,000 gold. So if you already have the max like me, which is 65,000 in Giants and SSA, if you want, you can go to Oryx's store, purchase a key, and I guess just collect the random treasure, and then you get it. Simple as that. All right, next one.
Bring the boom!
Okay, so Boomer's personal quest: defeat 5 enemies with 1 troll bomb kick. So it's basically like a soul gem. So you need a third attack to actually get it down. Run away, kick it. Okay, I don't know why the physics are off. But yeah, run away, kick it, and it explodes. If you want those 5 enemies grouped together, I recommend Chompy Chop Down. Alright, next one.
Blink and destroy.
Alright, so Drillbot's personal quest. Defeat 50 enemies with afterburners. So that is his soul gem, which you need to purchase. And that's the third attack button. So you need to hit 50 enemies with this fire that's coming out of his wings. Definitely recommend Chompy Chop Down.
Oh, nice sounds to Drill.
Drill Sergeant's personal quest. Defeat Drill X without changing Skylanders. Personally, I would recommend keep Drill Sergeant on the portal before you enter the level, just to guarantee it. And I guess, you know, if it's too tough for you, you can always do it on easy. You know, very simple.
Deal with the wheel!
Alright, Bouncer's personal quest. Target 100 enemies with laser guided rockets, or shoulder rockets. So it should be this upgrade right here. Now if I get to do this crate, you have your targeting system. You need to do this for as many times as you need to. I recommend Chompy Chop Down.
The fix is in.
Okay, my goat Sprocket's personal quest is Mine Your Step. Defeat 50 enemies using the landmine golf attack. So that's her soul gem in the Drill X level. Toss out a mine, hit it with your wrench, and luckily the splash attack will hit a bunch of enemies, so it should take you like a few tries. Again, I recommend chopping chop down to get those 50 kills.
Slice and dice.
Okay, so Chop Chop's personal quest. Hold on, wait a second. Nice. Is to absorb 1,000 damage with your shield. Okay, yeah. So it is your secondary attack, and I recommend like going to like the final levels, maybe on nightmare mode. Let enemies actually hit you if you can block them. And I mean like the Archean Shield Juggernauts, maybe the Archean Duelists. You'll eventually get it.
Fear the dark.
Okay, Hex's personal quest. Knock 100 enemies away with your Skull Rain. Let me read that right. With your Skull Rain. So I think it's either you do this attack, which is your secondary attack, or you do it with her Soul Gem. Since you don't want to kill that many enemies, I think maybe the arena might be good, since I guess you can knock away the same enemies. Now, this is done with her Series 2 WoW POW, so it may not be guaranteed if you have a Series 1 Hex or Lycor Hex. But, do your best.
Bolts and lightning.
Okay, Cinder's personal quest is to defeat enemies with your ghost ally. I believe it is your Shadow Dashes or this one, Haunted Ally. Maybe both? Maybe not. But maybe try the secondary attack first. But I recommend like a chompy chop down. Definitely.
No chain, no gain!
Okay, Ghost Roaster's personal quests. Defeat 100 enemies with your Skull Charge. I believe it is this one right here, so it's kind of easy. Recommend Chompy Chop Down for those 100 enemies defeated.
I've got my eye on you.
Alrighty, Eyebrawl's personal quests. Collect 1,000 gold with your eyeball detached. So I believe that is a secondary move. And I believe it's the eyeball itself. It's not the body. So just go around doing this, collect gold as you see fit. And you should be good.
Spear the spear!
Alright, Fright Rider's personal quest, sorry. Toss 100 enemies into the air. Or sorry, toss 50 enemies into the air. Honestly, I'm going to recommend the arena. You know, maybe fight some drow and trolls. And I think you need a soul gem as well as a third attack button so you can get the enemies to you. Maybe draw this little circle I'm doing. Yeah, because you need them to hold on to the spear. Definitely. Alright, so I'm doing some testing, making sure I know what I'm saying. So you need to actually defeat the enemies with the third attack, so you need the soul gem and the third attack move. Chompies, I don't know count. Oh, I guess they do. So I guess if you want, you can go to Chompy Chomp Tank Down for an easy 50.
Born to burn!
Okay, so Raptor's personal quest is similar to Camo's, except you gotta eat 10 pizzas. So enemies may have a chance to drop pizzas, but you can always guarantee one right here in Molken Mountain after when you defeat the first group of enemies. So there's that.
Let the flames begin!
Okay, so Flame Slinger's personal quest. Defeat 10 enemies with 1 column of fire flame dash. So I think it's I think it's this. Now you need to actually, I think, get them inside of this in order for it to count. And maybe it's okay if they hit the flame dash, but the fire that extends, I don't think that counts. But I recommend maybe Chompy Chop Down if the Chompies don't die too easily.
Roast and toast.
Okay, Sunburns, I know pretty well. It's travel 1 mile using the Immoral Teleport Flame, or Teleport. So it's this. It is a very, very high thing that you have to do. Like, you have to do this multiple times. So you better start mashing until eventually you get it. I think it's like at 5,000, but you only get like 100 or 50 until you get to that 1 mile. You'll eventually get there, but it will take some time.
Slash and burn.
Okay, I think Igniters is probably just as bad as Sunburns. Travel 26,000 feet in flame form. So it's obviously your secondary attack. So I guess just keep doing this until eventually you'll get it. Is there an upgrade that can help if you got a Series 2? Sorry, just want to check. Yeah, okay, this one moves faster, so that helps. But you'll eventually get it. Just keep drawing with the flame form until you get it.
Hey, I'm on fire!
Okay, so Hothead's personal quest. Destroy 20 walls in Hot Rod mode. So that is his soul gem. Basically, what you do is you turn into a bike, and you just go around town. Now remember, these smaller stone walls actually do count, so make sure you get them. And just keep doing this till just keep restarting till you actually get it. All right, on to the next.
See spot burn!
Hot Dog's personal quest. Scare 20 birds away. So if you've seen the jetpack one, you can just like scare some birds away. I can't get that one, but just do the same thing that I showed you in the jetpack one. Heck, maybe if you have a jetpack, a friend who's playing jetpack and he's trying to suck up the birds, you can just be Hot Dog and just be a menace. Anyway, just do that over and over again, and eventually you'll get it. All right, on to the next.
All fired up!
Okay, so Spyro's personal quest. This might be a tough one, but you need to collect 3 pieces of gold, eat 1 food item, and defeat 2 enemies in 1 sprint charge. So you may have to defeat some enemies, but... Okay. Defeat 2 enemies, get the... Oh, shoot. Alright, hold on, give me a second. Okay, if I didn't mess up, I say this would be the best place to do it. So, immediately try taking out the Archean Duelists, best you can. because you want to save this food for when you actually need it. And I'm trying to at least destroy the Archean duelists because they do drop. They do guarantee to drop some treasure. Ah, shoot, wish I didn't do that. But you need to save at least 2 things of food. Alright, gonna flamethrower them. Okay, I see 3. I see 3 treasures. I see 1 thing of food. Now we just need the 2 enemies, and those drog pinchers are going to help me out. Okay, so immediately do something like this. Wait for the little pinchers, and with 1 charge. Okay, and this should guarantee that you actually do it. That is my best method on accomplishing it. On to the next character.
Wreck and roll!
Okay, Wreck and Roll's personal quests. This is going to be easy for anyone. Swallow 100 enemies. This is a soul gem. And I definitely recommend... Hold on. Chompy Chop Down. So that way you're guaranteed to get it.
Boom shakalaka!
Okay, so Double Trouble's personal quests. Oh wait, sorry, that's upgrades. Defeat 10 enemies with 1 magic bomb attack. So that is his 3rd attack. So group a bunch of small choppies at, you guessed it, your new favorite best level in Giants, Choppy Chop Down.
Facts first, questions later.
Alright, Dude, my dude, your personal quest is... Defeat 6 enemies at once with your tripwire. So it's this one. Should be simple, just gather them all up, set it up. There is the tripwire path, but you need to do it at least 1. So I do recommend Choppy Chop Down for those 6 guaranteed kills.
Any last wishes?
Okay, Ninjini's personal quest, which is defeat 5 enemies within 5 seconds of exiting your bottle. So it's this one where you press the secondary attack button to go in her bottle, exit out, and then just start immediately killing 5 enemies. I don't think it's the... I mean, I guess you can do it with this move right here, but just in case, Choppy Chomp Down, and then if it doesn't come up after when you explode out of your bottle, immediately slash your swords at the remaining Chompy.
The motion of the potion!
Okay, Pop Fizz, our last character and our last quests in general. It is defeat is do 200 HP of damage in a single run in beast form. So I guess you need to drink the potion, and I guess if it does help, maybe do this attack that way you have more damage. If you don't have the Series 2 or Series 3, but if you like the top path, you can get this. So it helps. Honestly, instead of going to the Chompy thing, I recommend like finding like a boss, Drill X, maybe like Chaos, or maybe like a group of enemies that are beefy enough if you don't care, and just start slashing at them. Maybe you do need the beast path in order to help, you know, because I know that attacking in the beast path will refill it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So, you know, this took me like a while. I had to do this 3 times. This is the 3rd attempt of me doing this without failing. And I would greatly appreciate it if you, you know, consider subscribing, because this took me a while. And my thoughts on the quests, I actually quite like them quite a lot. I as you saw, I sort of did all of them with every Skylander I have available. At least the individual ones, not really like reposes and all that. But I kind of like doing the quest because it's a good way to get to know the character's playstyle long enough. And I'll definitely make more of these in the future, so thank you all so much for watching. My name is Walter Williams, or you can call me Paul, and I'll see you all again next time. Have a good day, everybody.